got the parapets, and I through their bravery. The Conservative MPs have got to get through to
So
the Prime Minister. This isn't about the Prime Minister. This isn't about Dominic Cummings. It's about the country. It's about the safety and well-being of our people.
So, in England, Dominic Cummings, senior advisor to Boris Johnson, is supposed to be resigned because he traveled to his parents during the coronavirus lockdown. Well, there's some people haven't seen their parents since January, and he traveled 264 miles during the lockdown because he said he needed his parents to look after his 4-year-old child when you're not supposed to have any contact with, especially elderly people. So apparently he ignored the rules. So while this was happening, let's see, in Israel, um, our not an advisor, but the president and the prime minister. The prime minister had his son who was not living with him during Passover, and our president, Rivlin, uh, he was like spending Passover with his daughter. He said it was wrong and not. I mean, he's not a child. I mean, he's an adult. I mean, what is he, 80 years old? And his decision to Passover with his daughters. I mean, this guy's supposed to represent the people, and people were isolated. They couldn't be together with their family during the Passover meal. And he said, um, Israeli authorities urge young citizens to refrain from visiting their elderly family this time was wrong and had no justification. He said that I mean, he was not the only one to come under fire. Um, Caretaker Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had a visit from his son on Passover Seder, and so did Avigdor Lieberman. And of course, there's Leachman, who helped bring Orthodox people from the US during the lockdown. But, well, Israel, everything is like normal. It's okay to break the rules and still be prime minister. It's okay to break the rule and still be minister, prime minister, and president. In England, there's an outrage, and doctors are threatening to quit over that because there are people that work so many hours. And this one doctor said, I've worked for the last 2 months. The staff is hot and hard work. Haven't seen my parents since January. Cummings spit in the face of all our efforts because they have some sort of rules there. They actually respect that rules need to be kept and can't be bent just because you're in a senior position. Can't imagine what England, how people would have reacted if the Prime Minister Johnson would have broken the rules, and gone to see his parents or whatever family, or it's really, there's an outrage, and in Israel it's like, okay, so so he bent the rules, and they're actually supporting the prime minister now that he's having the court, a law case against him. What do you call it? A trial because he influenced the media or whatever. People are actually supporting him. This is the difference between Israel and England. In England, people have a sense of fairness, and the rules shouldn't be bent and broken by people that are in a position. They have to be role models, and they also can't. It's not okay that the average Joe has to keep the law and the politicians not. The people in this is the difference between Israel. People here just do whatever they want, and quite the opposite. He can apologize till he wants, but there's nothing to apologize for. It just shows your attitude. Why does he think he's above everybody? Yeah, but like him, there are many people that are, he just lost his wife. There are many, 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 many people that were all alone and needed their family, but they listened to the law. So in Israel, the law is not really the law. It's kind of bent by there's one law for the appointed leaders, the politicians, and then the law for, if you can bend the law, you do it. And it makes it, it makes, can imagine a lot of people are frustrated, or maybe they just don't care anymore and are used to the fact that a law is not the law. And at least in England, yeah, it's kind of different. They're asking for him to resign, Dominic Cummings. And in Israel, they would have just not even mentioned it. And so sometimes it's really difficult to live in a place where the laws are different for different people. And it's very interesting to look at these type of differences between culture. Yeah. So peace and love. And what do you think? Shouldn't a president and a prime minister in Israel have resigned as well, and all the politicians and Eichmann who let ultra-Orthodox people into Israel from US when they were supposed to not even come here. So, there's a whole list of prominent people, the president, prime minister, various, the health minister. They all bend the rules. They don't listen to the rules, and they expect the citizens to listen to the rules. So it creates a very difficult situation to live in a society like that. Anyway, peace, light, and love.